Ladies and gentlemen, hold up. Mm. Okay, back to meeting. Try this again. Come on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelt. Hold on tight. You're in for one crazy and epically cool and amazing ride tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show. Hashtag one on YouTube. With me tonight, we have with us driver Kyle Manderfeld out of North Mankato, Minnesota. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kyle.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Not a problem. So, Kyle, let's talk about your racing career. Where did this awesome journey begin for you?
At our local dirt track, Toner's Lake Karting. My dad's cousin
Okay,
helped get into it with our first go-kart.
okay. So, when you first got into the go kart for the first time, what was it like for you to get behind the wheel? You can remember back that far. Was it kind of
It was
scary
really,
or
I was hoping to do it like my whole life. I wanted to do it. I kept asking my dad if we could get a go-kart, and I finally got to do some fun laps in it. It's just really cool.
okay? Okay, very cool, very cool. So, Kyle, with your racing career, what is the story behind your race car number?
Uh, it's just kind of like my favorite number, like growing up and stuff. And I
What is
just,
that number? What is that number?
number 12.
Number 12. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So Kyle, okay, now who do you have for sponsors on your racing team?
I have Four Seasons Truck Wash out of North Mankato, Minnesota. And then I have Manderfeld Trucking, my dad.
Okay. Are you still looking for sponsors for your racing team, Kyle?
Mm, not really. Maybe until we get like a big car.
Okay, okay, okay. So Kyle, with your racing career, who helps work on your race car?
Mainly, it's just like me and my dad. My mom helps
Okay,
get stuff, everything ready and everything. But it's mostly me
okay,
and my dad.
okay. All righty. So Kyle, when it comes to your racing, what is your home track you race on?
Probably Toner's Lake Karting. That's probably
And
the
where's that
closest
at?
one. Janesville, Minnesota. Out by Janesville.
Okay, 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 okay. So Kyle, what is your favorite track to race on?
I'd have to say probably like Toners, or I really like Blue Earth and Atwater.
Okay, okay, okay. So Kyle, do you have any big racing events that you're getting ready to compete at?
The series race in Atwater, Minnesota in 2 weeks.
Okay, okay, okay. So Kyle, when it comes to your racing career, do you have a racing nickname?
Mm, not really.
Not really. So Kyle, let's talk about your 5-year plan with racing now. What is your 5-year plan with racing?
Hopefully to be in a stock car.
Hopefully to be in a stock car. Okay. And how about in 10 years, Kyle?
Maybe like own a few and have like a few drivers.
Okay, 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 okay. So Kyle, when it comes to you being at the track and you're getting ready to go out on the race in your cart, what helps get you psyched up and motivated to go out and do what you do?
Probably like my dad just like tells
Okay,
me to go out there, have fun, and go get the win.
okay. How much success have you had as a race car driver, Kyle?
A lot. We got I think like around like 26 career wins and 2 track championships.
Very cool, very cool. So what is the worst thing you've had happen to you as a race car driver, Kyle?
I really haven't had like nothing bad. Maybe like a few wrecks, but like nothing really too bad.
Okay, okay. So Kyle, who is the race car driver or race car drivers that you look up to as a race car driver?
I actually have a lot of people. I like look up to Chad Porter a lot, and like Chad Schroeder, Trevor Service, and like Taylor Manderfield. Like a lot of people that race above me. All my
Okay, okay,
buddies.
okay. Okay, very cool, very cool. So Kyle, when you're at the racetrack, who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
I have a lot of like Jake Robb, Carter Brown, Ethan, a lot of people hang
Okay,
out.
okay. So Kyle, what are your friends at school think of you being a race car driver?
No, I don't think I really think too much of it. I have like a couple buddies that really like it, and I have another friend that races go karts on asphalt. So I don't think they really
Okay,
even like that much.
okay. So Kyle, when you're at the racetrack and you're getting hungry, what's your go-to food at the track?
I have to say probably like Uncrustable maybe,
Okay, okay. So Kyle, when you're away from the racetrack, what's your favorite restaurant to eat at?
maybe like Red Lobster or like Texas Roadhouse,
Okay, okay, okay. And when you're at home, what's your favorite home cooked meal that your family makes for you now?
maybe some like chicken or steak.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Very good choices. So Kyle, when you're away from the racetrack, what do you like to do away from the racetrack?
I like to play some golf and basketball and like play baseball with my friends a lot and hang out with them.
Okay. Do you have an NBA team that you like to watch?
The Warriors.
Ooh, very good choice. Very good choice. Steph Curry and the Warriors. Very good choice. How about your baseball team? Who's your favorite baseball team there, Kyle?
Probably the Twins.
Okay, okay. Good choice there also. So Kyle, do you have any advice for the kids coming up in the racing world to give them some motivational speech to help get them in a race car?
Have fun and like don't give up. And if you're doing bad, they'll come around. You just keep getting better.
Okay, okay, okay. So Kyle, I'm gonna turn around and put you on the spot now. You're gonna get the microphone and you're gonna ask me some questions. So what you got? Hit me with your
Uh,
best shot.
who got you like into interviews? What made you want to do it?
Actually, I've had a passion to work in racing ever since I was a kid. And Clay Evans, his son Carter, I don't know, maybe I don't, you know who Carter Evans is, right?
Yeah.
Yep, yep. Carter's dad, Clay, is the one that got me into this. He's the one that kind of shot me the idea and said, "Let's go with it and see where it goes." Well, then we started out with the Facebook Live idea, 38 viewers, and then 2 years later, over 2,000 some people in the USA and Canada knew who we were. It was pretty insane, epically insane. Well, then we moved over to YouTube from there, and it's been a huge accomplishment and huge blessing. So yeah,
Where's like your favorite race or racetrack to like go watch?
um, okay, I'm going to give you my top five. Okay, number one on the list, Knoxville, Iowa, for the Knoxville Nationals. Did that 2 years in a row. Very epically awesome adventure. I'll get into a little bit more of that in just a second. Number two, Boone, IMCA Super Nationals. That's right there. Jackson Motorplex is third, and British fourth, and then right in the top five, I'd say Plusus. Plusus is right there also. So
Yeah.
Plusus is pretty much tied with fourth, or even maybe even tied with one. So we'll give it that. How's that?
Yeah, that's not,
Not yeah, and Knoxville, Iowa, the Knoxville Nationals. I have a couple stories I got to share with you, Kyle. One, the first year I was down at the Knoxville Nationals, had never been there. I watched it on TV since I was way little. Went down there, couldn't believe all the people that were there. It was just insane. Went there. First driver I met was Dale Blaine. That was when he was driving the '93 Amoco car back in the day. Very, very tall guy. Pretty much could be a basketball player. And my first thought was, how is this guy being so tall? He didn't do a sprint car. And they're like, well, we had to kind of modify the chassis. That's putting it lightly. Well, then I talked to him for a little while. Well, then ever since then, I've met some drivers. The last year I was down there. I ran into Stevie Smith. Stevie, awesome race car driver. He's retired now, but he used to drive the 19 Ingersoll Rand car. And then I ran into Lance Blevins. He was out of Oklahoma. He drove the 21 car. And Shane Stewart became semi semi friends with Shane Stewart. Shane Stewart runs track in Tulsa, micro sprint outdoor track. He used to run outlaw sprint cars. Well, then, like I said, met some drivers. The coolest story, a couple cool stories I do have to share with you, Kyle. The final night we were to go get our tickets for the final night of competition, the final year I was there. We were standing there at the ticket line waiting to get our tickets. And the ticket lady says, well, she says, well, you guys must be really big into racing. Yeah, who isn't? That's here, right? And she says, well, you guys missed a huge superstar. And we're like, oh, she's like, well, 20 minutes ago, Richard Petty was here.
Oh, really?
What? What? Yeah. And I was like, well, is there any chance of meeting him? They're like, well, he's in the VIP booth now. There's no. And I'm like, oh man, that kind of stinks. Well, then the final of the competition, we were sitting on the backstretch, and are you familiar with World of Osprey car racing quite a bit, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know who Mark Kinzer is?
Yeah.
You ever heard of that name?
Yeah.
Okay, Mark's dad, Carl, awesome crew chief. He could do miracles with a sprint car. Well, the final night of competition, me and my friend of mine were sitting on the backstretch, and Mark didn't start very well in the feature. Well, he started on the back towards the middle of the pack. Well, they had a red flag, and a friend of mine says to me, he says, "Who do you think's going to win this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I really don't know. It's too early to tell." He looked at me. He says, "Chances are Mark Kinzer's going to win this." He said, "I'm going to put my money on Mark Kinzer." And I was like, "You for sure on this?" He says, "Just wait and see." Well, they had an open red flag, and that pretty much you could do changes the car on the track if you wanted. Well, Carl went and did a little tweaking to the chassis, and after that, that car was unstoppable. Well, then after the race, happened to be in the pit area, and was just thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can go over to Mark Kinder's pit and see if he's done with his interviews and whatnot, and just go talk to him. Well, they had the car roped off, and I thought, oh, okay. So I thought I stand there for a while. Well, Carl Kinzer comes up to me and he says, "Hey," he says, "who are you waiting for?" I said, "I'm waiting to talk to your son, Mark." I says, "Mark around?" And he's like, "No, he's still up in the press box, VIP booth doing his interviews. Is there something I can help you with?" I says, "Well, I want to get an autograph from Mark." I says, "I'd love to get something of Mark's." He's like, "Well, I don't know when he'll be back down," but he says, "I got a question." He says, "Would you want to have an autograph from me?" And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Okay." I said, "Sure." So give me a hero card with his autograph on it. He's like, "By the way, would you want your picture taken?" And I was like, "Sure." Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to watch World of Outlaws this weekend at Cedar Lake.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Who's your World of Outlaw driver, Kyle?
Probably Rico.
Oh, okay. Rico's pretty cool. Rico is pretty cool. Rico is pretty cool. So you have any more questions for me, Kyle?
What's your favorite like big car to watch?
I like to watch. This is going to be kind of crazy because, like, you watch dirt track racing and stuff like that. But I like to watch dirt track racing. Yes, I enjoy it. I love watching NASCAR. I love watching IndyCar. But one of my favorites to watch is drag racing. They're like, drag racing? What's that all about? And it says, do you realize what those top field racers and funny cars are capable of with the horsepower? And they're like, no. They're like, the funny cars and the dragster is 10,000 horsepower. I was like, they're like,
Yeah.
whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just to be in that pit area as they're firing that car up would be just a dream. Yeah, yeah. I also like to watch IndyCar racing quite a bit. The Indy 500 is one of them that's on my list. I would love to go see the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have any more questions for me, Kyle?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Kyle. Do you have anybody else you would like to thank for helping you get this far with your racing career?
My mom and dad, all my family, my sister, for helping me get the car ready and everything.
Okay,
And
okay.
Four Seasons Truck Wash, uh, Manderfeld Trucking, and then Stevie Smith for the motors and everything.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So, with your sister, do you guys have the sibling rivalry? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I think every brother and sister have that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, thank you very much, Kyle, for being on the racing show with me today,
Yeah.
talking to us about your racing career. You going to be in Plessis in a couple weeks, or?
I hope to get back down there a couple more times if we can before the
Okay,
end of the year.
very
I
cool.
really like that.
Yeah, I would love to see you down at Plessis again,
Yeah.
definitely. But thank you again, Kyle, for being on the racing show again. Do you have anything you want to say to the kid to help get them to come to my racing show?
What'd you say again?
Do you have anything you want to say to the kid to help get them to come to my racing show?
Uh, Wait, what'd you say? I can't hear you.
Do you have anything you want to say to the kid to help get them to come to my racing show?
Uh, Thank you, maybe. How much?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. But Kyle, thank you very much. Do you have a Facebook page that the racing fans can follow you on?
No, not really. Don't have a racing
Okay,
page. Maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, definitely. That'd be something to have, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
But thank you very much. I will call you in a little bit, Kyle, to thank you in person. We're doing a little racing news update, and then I'll call you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kyle Manderfeld, driver of the number 12 go kart out of North Mankato, Minnesota. Very, very awesome individual, very, very talented individual. So you get a chance to go watch Kyle race, do so because Kyle would appreciate that very much, along with all the other go kart kids. Um, like I said, racing news update wise, our thoughts and prayers are with Jimmy Johnson and his family after their tremendous loss over the weekend. And then also, congratulations to David Gravel for picking up the High Bank Nationals last week. And also, ladies and gentlemen, definitely, you know, uh, congratulations to Parker Larson for picking up the Hobby Stock feature win last night in Fairmont. Um, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good night. Catch you later. Catch you later. Another episode of the Josh Allen Full Car Racing Show. #1 on YouTube. I'd like to thank everybody that has helped me out, including Manning Motorsports and New England Hero Theater Association, and everybody that has helped me out. Everybody in general. But if you would like to be on my racing show or sponsor my racing show, you can email me at jjnolan151@gmail.com, or you can text or call me at 712-209-7138. With, um, and also, ladies and gentlemen, continue living life at full throttle. With that being said, you guys have a good night. Catch you later on another episode of the Joshua One Full Car Racing Show. #1 on YouTube.